Hi everyone, I have finished this lovely book, Mandalas with Beautiful Borders by Nicola Lehmann. Sorry, Nicola. This is volume 5. I have had a previous one as well that I finished. They're really pretty books, I think. And my friend Michelle bought me this and we were doing buddy colours, and then I just sort of got ahead and finished it. I've got a list here which I'm going to just put beside me here of what pencils I used on each page, just so you can get a little idea, get something that people do seem to like knowing. So we'll come in a bit closer and get started. So here is the welcome page. This was done with Castle Arts botanical pencils, but if you look carefully you can see that these lines are done with a glitter pen, which is quite nice. I didn't do many like that, but I think that's a really good idea. And then this first page was done with Arteza Expert pencils, and this one was done, a lot of them were done using these Sarah Renee Clark colour cube cards. A lot of people ask me where you can get them. You can get them from her website. She has her own website and that's the only place you can actually buy them, although there are books with colour palettes and you can go onto Pinterest and find colour palettes, or Sarah Renee Clark. There's a colour cube Instagram page with some on and things like that, so there are free ways to get them. These are quite expensive, they're very thick. They have the names and variations on the back, but I do like them. And there is a digital version which is much cheaper, but I feel for the purposes of video making having a physical one is better to show you. But I think if I was just using them for myself, I think I would have probably preferred the digital version, because you can search for palettes with different moods or things like that, which you can't do with a card. But anyway, let's move on. So this one was done with polycolour pencils. This one was done using Castle Art Soft Touch, and this one using Staedtler Design Journey. This is one of my favourites, I think. A lot of green, isn't there? This one was done using Arteza Premium pencils. I think this one I was just using my tallest pencils because I don't, well maybe not the purple, but I don't use the pinks very often. And this one was Pablo. Now this is done with pen. I had some Winsor & Newton watercolour pens, which my husband had passed on to me because he wasn't using them, and I tried them. Now here we have another colour palette. I'll pop it here for you. So this one was coloured with polychromos pencils, and I think polychromos do work quite well on this paper. This is Amazon paper. It will vary depending on which country you're in. Amazon will use different paper. Here is another colour cube card. Such an unusual colour, this one. What I find is I get the card out and I have to try and match, say, this colour, which I matched here. This was using Yova pencils, which are the same as Color pencils. So sometimes you have to just look at your card and then choose your set, because that colour is rare in other sets. You could match it near, and quite a lot of the time I'm not exact. So here's another one where this colour here is one that I wouldn't normally find. This looks quite like an earth green. This one as well, a little bit odd. So that's sort of an eggplant. I've used like a dark purple, and then this one but the puce, I can't see it actually. I used like a grey. What did I use? What pencils did I use for this? Prismas, that makes sense. French grey, yeah. So that was that one. So as I say, I look at them and try and match. Now, if you buy the digital version, I think, oh, it might not be included. You might have to pay extra for the colour cube cards. You can get a printout which tells you the nearest matches to these colours with various pencil sets. So that can be quite useful if you're not very good at matching. Because I've had a lot of practice, it's something that I can do, but I know it's not always easy. This one was done with Ergosoft pencils. So we've got this one, which was probably the 49 pencil, I'm guessing, and the different greys and blacks. A few white dots in the middle there. This one was done with Magic pencils. Now these are Koh-i-Noor, and the leads have different colours in them, so it might look a little bit odd or in places dirty or like I've missed bits or whatever. It's because there are different colours. So if you look carefully at this one here, it's quite orangey, whereas this one is more red, where there's some yellow in the pencil and things like that. They're interesting pencils to play with. You wouldn't want to do a really lovely piece that you're going to hang, or you know, that you wanted to be proud of, because they are unpredictable in how the colour lays down. But they, as I say, for things like this, they are a lot of fun. I haven't used them for ages. I must grab them and play with them again. Now this one was done with Arteza Expert pencils, and this one with Artex pencils. I tend to use different pencil sets just to play around with them, really see how they work on the paper, give some love to the sets that maybe I haven't used for a while, that sort of thing. These are Pablo. I can tell from the colours sometimes what set they are, other times I can't. There's a bit of gold metallic, sorry, in this one. These are also Pablo, but we've got that metallic bit in. I think it's a really good idea. As I said earlier, haven't done it that much. These, I didn't know. I couldn't find what I did with this one. I hadn't written it down for some reason. But these are Tombow, I can tell that by looking just the coloured tones. These pinks and things don't get with any other set. This was Polychromos. I think this is my favourite in the book. I did spend quite a long time getting lighter and darker shades within each section, and I think you can see that effort has paid off. It was a lot of fun. This one is a very unusual card. Look at those colours. I really wouldn't have thought to put limes and purples together, but it's come out very well, I think. This is Arteza Premium pencils. And this one, the purple lovers will love this one. It is done with Castle Art Soft Touch. Of course, purples, that's what you have to grab, because Castle Art Soft Touch is just got the best purples, or the biggest range of purples. And then we have Polycolour again, just going for a more autumnal looking theme. And this one was done with Polychromos again. I just really fancied doing something with some pinks and blues. I can't place what colour that pink is. It's probably a medium flesh, what's that called, the coral, something like that maybe. But I can tell what these are. There's light cobalt turquoise and things like that. Right, this was done with yes, the Arteza watercolour pencils, and I didn't activate them. I just played with them without, which was nice. I get a bit scared of adding water, particularly to very thin paper like this. And this one's quite similar in colour on the chart. You know, I've got the yellows and things. And the pencils I used for that were Polycolour. I use them a lot in this sort of thing because they give quite a nice block of colour. They're a little bit more difficult to blend, and you can't get lots of layers. Layering is the hardest, I think, with them. So they're nice for this sort of page, I think. Polychromos, it says. I'm sure though it doesn't look like Polychromos to me. Maybe it is? I don't know. These were done with Colour pens that I had. They were supposed to be watercolour pens, so I played with those in here. Now I felt that they looked a lot smoother on this paper compared to the Colour books, which was interesting. And I tried another one here. I really like this sort of flat purpley blue colour, periwinkle type colour, I guess. You can see how the paper's gone a bit funny because of the pens, but it's okay. This one is an interesting one, isn't it? I used my Tombows again for this one. I think trying to get this colour, I looked at that and I thought that's the oil yellow or the wax yellow. I can't remember what it's called now. So I thought that's why I grabbed that set, but we didn't really have this colour, so I just grabbed a green that was close. And this one is these look a little bit more bluey, like a slate grey, more so than I've used here. I used Pablo's for this. I think because of these browns and beiges, they have quite a few in the Pablo's. And then this one is Polychromos. Now there's a lot of colours here, and although I did the yellow here as the circle, I did a light yellow in the background of some of this because I thought it looked a little bit better. Now this one, oh hang on, I'll turn my page. Polychromos again for this one. Now you can see this is a red, but it is called blood orange on here, so I think this is a light cadmium red, which is quite orangey, so I tried to do that sort of thing with that. Now again, I'm going to use pens on this page. You can see I've tried to match it to the palette though. We've got a grey, a yellow, orange, a sort of red, a brown and a green. So I tried, but I just don't like how it looked really. I don't know why. I don't know. I can't really say why. I'm just not keen on that one. But those are the same. These were the Colour Your pens again. Now this one I tried my Staedtler pens. I've got these metallic pens. It's coming up to Christmas-ish. Thinking, you know, metallics. These don't really shine very much. And I just played with them in here and they were running out. And apart from the gold's the only one that didn't really run out. And it's just not very keen. So that was a bit of an experiment. It's nice to experiment sometimes, isn't it? And it's quite daring and hard, but you know. So this one here, I did with metallic pencils. Now it's quite difficult to see they're metallic. They don't shine massively. These are Shaw and Marsh metallic pencils, which I think are Hobbycraft own brand. And they have all the pinks and the beiges and, well, I used a gold and brass and things like that. These two colours are actually the same, but I used a light silver and a dark silver, I think. Something like that to get a bit of a mix of colour. And then I used them again on the next one, but this time we had this one. Now this was called teal, so I picked this sort of greeny colour, but on here it's very bluey. But I just did match the best I could, and we've got this sort of brass colour, which isn't really here. I used it for this. You know, I messed around a little bit with it and just changed it up. And although the colours are quite different, like this is quite different to this, I felt that it just was interesting. I'm not sure whether it works, but it was interesting. Look at all those tomatoes. Yum, yum. And those range of colour, so beautifully autumnal. And I used my poly colours again for these. I've used, as I say, they go down well in this book. They're good for this sort of picture. And this one was done with poly colour as well. And again, we've got quite the autumnal palette for that one. Now I was getting very Christmassy. I used my Staedtler Design Journey, oh excuse me, and used my red, green, yellow, red, green, gold, whatever, colours in that. It was really plain and simple. I was actually on the phone, I think, when I did that. I was just, you know, doodling away. Now this one is done in Castle Arts Metallic. I think these are more shiny than the Shaw and Marsh were. I'm not sure, maybe not. No, maybe they're about the same. So that one, I wanted to do quite a sort of wintry, Christmassy type palette, and often people use purple and silver, so I thought I'd have a go. And then this one, I sort of thought I'd go Christmassy, but I went blue and gold, again with the same pencils, Castle Arts Metallic. So there is that book. As you can see, it's actually, oh, it's printed in the USA, so this is American Amazon paper, which is often a little different to the UK paper, but there we go. It's got a bit bent, but that is that book. So I had fun with that one. She has quite a few different books. There aren't just the ones with borders, there are different mandala books and things like that, but I've just had a couple of her border ones and I really like them. So and I use them for sort of relaxed colouring when I'm not worried about making it look perfect, if you know what I mean. Sometimes when you're doing a particular page in a book, you think I need to make this look really good, but other times I use these books just to do something quick and relaxing and fun, or try out a pencil or something like that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe and comment if you can. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and happy colouring.